Hello. So today I want to talk about what the purpose of a church is. And this doesn't just have to do with a church, so to speak. It could also be a synagogue, a mosque, a temple, whatever place of worship you go to. So it's not just a church. And I know some videos give trigger warnings, but I don't give trigger warnings. If you clicked on this video, you are meant to hear this. And if you click off because you are triggered, then that is something that you need to work through. So I'm just going to speak the truth, and you know, if you're ready for it, you'll listen to it. So let's talk about the purpose of a church. And I'm going to share just a quick little story with you on what the divine told me one day. I actually used to go to a Christian church, and I was on my way to church one morning, and we had passed a pond. It was on the right side of the road, and there was a bunch of scum on the pond. You could tell that it wasn't kept clean, and there was no running water. It was just stagnant, and there was just pond scum on it. And as we passed it, I was, conversing with the divine, and the divine pointed it out to me and said, "Do you see that pond?" And I said, "Yes," and pointed out that there was pond scum on there, and then proceeded to tell me that that's what churches are. Some churches, not all, but some churches are pond scum. And I thought, well, that is a very odd thing to tell me on my way to church, and especially because church represents your house. This was before I understood that the true house of the divine is us. We are the temple. We are the temple of the divine, not a brick building. But if this is where you're at and this is what you do, I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. What I am saying is, listen to this video, and perhaps you will see it in a different light. So, back to the story. I thought I was totally taken by that statement. And I thought, okay, I really need to ponder on this. I need to pray about this. I really need to figure out what it is you're trying to tell me. After praying, after meditating on it, I had realized through the unveiling of the truth that some churches, some temples, some synagogues, some mosques, whatever the places that you go to, have become like a pond instead of a river where there is flowing water, there is living water. They've become a pond, a place where people come and go, and they sit and they listen to the word of someone else speaking it. And then when the service is over, they go home. And that's where it ends. There is no living water flowing through that place. There is no living water flowing in your life. But the word of God, or the word of the divine, or the word of goddess, or the word of Buddha, whatever it is that you believe in, is supposed to be a living water. It's not supposed to be a place that is stagnant, that there's nothing happening there other than the same thing every week. And I know some of you may be saying, well, we do outreaches and we have parties and we do this and we do that. But that's not what we're talking about here today. What we're talking about is what I was told about a church or any place that you go to worship. Here's the bottom line. I was given the word that the purpose of those places are to equip and ship. Let me say that again. Equip and ship. That's what the divine told me. And what that means is you're going to those places to fellowship, of course, because it's always nice to have a believer with you. It's always nice to have people around you that believe in the same things that you do. But those places are meant to equip you with the living water. They're meant to equip you with the information that you need. They're meant to equip you and teach you about the things that you need in your journey. I mean, they're supposed to do that. And then they're supposed to ship you out, not keep you in a pew every single Sunday, or in a chair, or kneeling on the floor, or whatever the case may be. You're not supposed to just sit there every single Sunday or every single Saturday or however you do it, every single Tuesday, whatever the case may be. It's a place of equip and ship. But a lot of churches, a lot of places of worship have become pond scum. And I know that's a really harsh way to say it, but I can only say it the way it was given to me. I'm not going to candy coat this. This is how it was given to me. It is a place of stagnancy instead of a place of living water. So the reason I share this with you is because it opened my eyes when the divine shared it with me. And it allowed me to see things in a very different way. And my life changed a lot after that truth. It started really opening my eyes. And I share this with you because part of the ascension process is recognizing the truth. And sometimes the truth is difficult to hear, and sometimes the truth is difficult to accept. But nonetheless, the truth is still the truth. So whatever you're doing in your place of worship, or even if you're just doing your place of worship out in nature, if it's still a place of stagnancy, if you have become a breeding place of pond scum, where nothing's moving, there's nothing happening in your life, you're just there every single week, then you may want to relook at that situation, because it's supposed to be living water flowing through you and out of you and into others. The equip and ship. And I just want to add this so that we are on the same page. I'm not saying that you're supposed to go to church and then you're supposed to turn around and start doing things and start spreading the word, or start a YouTube channel, or start, whatever. I'm not saying any of that. I'm not saying that's what you're supposed to do. And I'm not saying that you're not supposed to do that. Maybe you are supposed to do that. I don't know. I don't have those answers. Only you have those answers. The true soul essence within you will be able to guide you and tell you if you're supposed to do something or if you're not. But I do know that we are all supposed to be living water. We are all supposed to be living water. And the places that we go to worship or share fellowship is supposed to be a place of living water. So I just wanted to share that bit of truth with you today and give you something to think about. I'm sending you all lots of love and activation energy.